the responsibility, unfortunately, for knowing what is coming into your home, your water, the responsibility, honestly, is going to fall back on the consumer.
Well, and it's always going to fall back on the consumer, in the places that use private wells.
Mm-hmm.
So there are, particularly in that area of North Carolina, there's a lot of rural areas that draw water from private wells, and those people are totally on their own. EPA doesn't need to monitor. Like, that's the whole thing with a private well, right?
Mm-hmm.
If your arsenic levels are high, that's kind of on you to both identify and remediate.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with PFAS as well, and we do see that. We see a lot of people, unfortunately, who are saying, well, no one's telling me anything, so I'm good. And it's like, well, they wouldn't. You have no way of knowing unless you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on testing on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's nothing to say that if you test your water today, that in 6 months you're still in the clear, because these chemicals, like we talked about, they're very soluble, so they can travel, they can migrate.
Persistent.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the worst of both worlds, right? They're persistent, toxic,
And soluble.
and highly soluble.
Oh,
So.
man.
And also going back to your initial question as to why consumers should care, I think we should talk about the health effects a little bit.
Absolutely.
So I think that pretty much across the board, it's been testicular and kidney cancers have been the most common types of cancers that people who have been exposed to PFAS are getting. And then also problems with reproductive health. So, pregnant moms, that type of thing is, not good.
No, that's not good at all.
Yeah, I've talked to some toxicologists, like some toxicology friends of mine, that are saying that this is kind of the new, the horns are honking outside our studio here, that these are the new, like, dioxins and the PCBs, and if those of you who grew up kind of in my era, that's something that was all over.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. So
BPA would probably, bisphenol A would probably fall into that category.
yeah, it's just it's everywhere. It's toxic. We know it's toxic. What do you do about it?
Right.
So it's a tough question, right?
I remember when we did our broadcast on lead in schools.
Yeah.
And there is, I feel like there is a period of wait and see that we tend to subscribe to, like waiting until local municipalities do something, waiting until the EPA does something, waiting until company that is responsible for dumping this chemical into our water supply do something. And very little of that waiting becomes, what can I do right now in my house to make sure as little of this chemical or none of this chemical is coming into my house and into my pots and pans and fridge and kids and stuff. It's going to fall back on us. You got to filter your water.